Hi, this is Shankar, and I was, looking at the chart of India's independence chart and the charts of our honorable Prime Minister and other people. And my predictions, I mean, I will not go into issues like, the companies would get into the field of telecommunication, they would be dealing with masses, mass communication would become very important. The field of show business, India would play a very, very important role. Saturn is there, so masses would. So these all we know because of the conglomerate of planets which are there in the third house, in the house of Cancer, and Cancer is always a house of expansion. Though there are planets which do not melt. I mean, gel with each other. But let's not forget that Sun, Mercury, Venus, Moon, Saturn is in there in the third house, and in the house of Kark, which is like a very, very important planet, which is an important sign as far as expansion and things to that effect is concerned. Third house again is all about IT, electronics, communication. The planets there also show that. I was trying to see the chart in terms of what would be the years as far as India is concerned. I think India was in the period which starts from April 23 is going to be an excellent period for the country, and that would be more focused on international outside, and then from April 24 to 25 will be again an excellent period, a par excellent period where there will be consolidation within the country. So I'm very clear on these 2 years are going to be very good, and also India would make great progress as far as its prestige is concerned in the next 5 years. It's going to be going to play a very important role. Its prestige will increase. It also will increase the gains. The gains for the country will also increase. So that's about the country, and just based on a lot of other parameters, just seen right from the nakshatra, the Ashtak Varga, and various other things, and primarily the Bhrigu system, which I follow. The most important thing which I see here is that there would be no change in par, and in fact, in the next starting January 16th, things would become better for the current government. The planning would become better. They would be able to hold on to the masses in a much better way the next 2.5 years, and I'm sure that they will be back in in terms of coming back in the government very easily in 2025. In 2025, you see India's chart, the planet, which is the time which will go on is. I'm telling only ballpark. I'm not going into very details. It's Chandrama Shukra, Moon in Venus, and Moon in Venus. If you look at Venus, Venus is the dispositor of Rahu, and Rahu is sitting in the Lagna. So Lagna is the king. It is the king, and the seventh house is the advisors, which that Ketu is the advisor, which are there. I mean, Rahu is the king, and the king, the depositor of king is Shukra, which is sitting in the third house itself with Chandrama. So Chandrama Shukra, third house, and the king being going back to the third house. That is, whether it will work, it will work. It will not leave any stone unturned, but it will come back in power in a very in a way which is which be supported by Rahu, and Rahu is nothing but the masses. So they would come back into power in terms in Moon Rahu. Jupiter in the sixth house, which is also the depositor of Venus is a depositor, and which is fourth from the third house. Also shows it will retain its domestic harmony, domestic peace, and internally it will come back. And so it will easily come back to power. There will be, I mean, not much of a problem for it to come back to power in terms of what I see, and I'm very clear about it in terms of my analysis. So two things: India next 2 years from April 23 to 24. And April 24-25 are excellent period for the country. The next 5 years again are very good in general for the country. I feel after 7.5 years, The last 2.5 years, the decade is for the country, and in that decade, the last cusp of 2.5 is the peak when you would feel feel the gains and the gains of the our international image, prestige, money. India would be a center of finance. India would be a center of food. India would be a center of and there'll be a change because Taurus is there. Finally, the last period. I mean, 10 years from now, the last cusp, the last 2.5, India would be a very important player in terms of international financing and international deals and home business. I mean, the business within the country will also increase. So it's a good period for India for the next 10 years, and I also do not see a change in the government for the next 10 years at least. I'm not going beyond that. So I would feel that this present government, which is there, which retain its power for the next decade, and the next decade is going to be a good decade. There can be nothing perfect, but these are my predictions. Starting 223 to 224, excellent period. 224 to a better period. 10 years, very good for the country. The last 2.5 years of decade, India would be at the top. I do not see a change in the current political situation for the next 10 years. The same government will remain in power at least for 10 years. I have not seen beyond it, and it will have a good run for it's this thing. So this is my view as far as the horoscope of Sri Narendra Modi, Honorable Narendra Modi is concerned. Without just assuming the date, place, and the year is correct, taking my system of Bhrigu Nadi horoscope, this horoscope is such that there can never be that he will be he will oust an office. I mean, he will not, like Indira Gandhi lost the elections and she had to leave. Sonia Gandhi, I mean, as the head of chairman of UPA, or Manmohan Singh lost the elections, so he has to leave. He will never be ousted from any office. If there be anything, he may leave it himself, like he left the CM seat of Gujarat to become the prime minister of the country. So so that's what I see. But I see the current dispensation, the current government remaining in power for the next 10 years, and the next 10 years are good for the country. And starting 2024 is an extremely good period till 2034, 2023, April 2023 to at least May 2033 is a period where India would be prospering. Different phases, different years, that I can't go into details. But the last 2.5 years would be the year when you would that is 2000. When I say 2033 means 2031 to 33, 2030 to 33, you would be proud of being a citizen of the country. In terms of others would be proud of that you are an Indian. Let me put it that way. So that's what is my prediction. Thanks and bye for now. You can go into my site shankerstudy.com. Today I was all ready to go to work, but I was informed that everything is closed because of the new public dress rehearsal. Entire area is cordoned. You can't move. All high-rise buildings have been sealed. So I thought I'll study this. I studied this and made this video. I hope you'd like it. Give me your comments. What do you feel? Thanks and bye for now.